Dr. Evans, what's the best advice you could give to someone going through pancreatic cancer treatment?
Yeah, another great question. One of the things that I say to our patients is, and it's so hard for adults because I think as we get older, it's very easy to get a little bit stuck in our ways. So, many of us don't eat 3 meals a day, for example. In order to control our weight, we may have one or two snacks and largely 1 meal a day. And we usually prioritize others over ourselves. So we have a busy schedule. We probably don't spend as much time thinking about ourselves. We probably don't spend as much time exercising as we need to. We're involved in a variety of work, personal and family obligations. And then all of a sudden, at the most inopportune time, we have a diagnosis of cancer. It's almost impossible to flip that switch quickly and then all of a sudden worry about ourselves. Very, very hard. Many of the people who manage pancreatic cancer treatment the best are those people who are able to spend even an afternoon early in the time of their diagnosis and say, okay, how am I going to restructure my life? How can I restructure my life so that I can most effectively receive pancreatic cancer treatment with the least amount of side effects and potentially the most benefit? Because remember, we used to think that the efficacy of treatment was proportional to the side effects. In other words, if we were going to bring the cancer cell to a near-death experience, we needed to bring the patient to a near-death experience as well. We now know that that's completely wrong, that it's actually the inverse, that the people most likely to benefit from anti-cancer therapy are the people who have fewest side effects. And I would submit that one of the ways to have the fewest side effects is to be able to focus on yourself. Something that most adults haven't done in a long, long time, probably since they were in high school or college. They have been focusing on a variety of things. So if the newly diagnosed pancreatic cancer patient can get together with their team, whether it's their significant other, whether it's some of their adult children, family members, friends, get their team together for maybe a little afternoon retreat and talk about how they can offload their responsibilities and how they can focus on themselves. And sometimes focusing on themselves will include retaining the things that provide them the most inner strength, whether that be the church, the synagogue, meditation, acupuncture, yoga, those things, exercise, those things are critically important. Sometimes some aspect of their job also provides them a greater level of inner strength, a greater mind-body connection, but sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes the job provides just additional stress. And certainly those aspects of their daily life that add stress and are not fun, are not a positive, it would be great to try to figure out a way to manage those. With regard to diet and nutrition, we have full-time dietitians who are just dedicated to our pancreatic cancer patients, and they probably would not like me to comment upon this since they know way more about this than me. But I often say to our patients, naps are good, but staying in bed all morning is not good because you miss breakfast, you miss your mid-morning snack, you're oftentimes late for lunch. So having a schedule, even though you want to focus on yourself, which certainly when you were younger meant that you could stay in bed till noon. Well, I didn't mean that you could stay in bed till noon while still focusing on yourself, because then you miss hydration, you miss protein, you miss calories. So having a schedule for yourself, which also facilitates your wellness, your mind-body connection, is just so important. But again, getting your team together at the very beginning and determining what you can and cannot do, and what is best for you is so important. I see so many people try to do too much during their cancer treatment. And certainly there are some people who still can do it and have a great result. But there are a lot of patients that are then, I think, struggling a little bit too much. So whatever you can do to improve your own personal feeling of well-being, your mind-body connection is so important. And taking an objective approach to it, just like you would with any other problem, is so important. And I think for most people, being a little selfish is hard. And I think this is the time when it's important to focus on yourself.
Great advice. Thank you.